Thank you for joining us. I am Frank Omalape. We'll begin from the Federal Capital Territory, where the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, has stated that government and the private sector must collaborate to reposition the real estate industry of Nigeria. He said this during the launch of Phase 1 of the Westlink Iconic Villa, a joint venture project between Odu'a's Investment Company Ltd and Chapter 4 Estate Management Ltd. The events were held at the Alakia in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Osinbajo explained that the project had confirmed that there was a huge opportunity in Nigeria for investment in the real estate industry when government provides an enabling environment. The Vice President stated that in pursuance of the present administration's goal to improve the country's ease of doing business ratings, President Muhammadu Buhari inaugurated the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, which was chaired by himself in July 2016. In his speech, the Oyo State Governor, Yemi, whose message was delivered by Deputy Governor Bayo Lawo, said in different parts of the city of Ibadan and the state, world-class estates are springing up, affirming the fact that the government's determination to take the state to greater height is a realizable objective. Away from the Naira scarcity caused by the Central Bank of Nigeria's redesign and cash withdrawal policy has pushed point-of-sales transactions to 807.16 billion Naira in January 2023. This is a 40.69% year-on-year increase from the 573.72 billion Naira transaction that was done in January 2022. According to a new data from the Nigerian Interbank Settlement System, total cashless transactions in Nigeria rose by 45.4% year-on-year to 39.58 trillion naira in January 2023. The system monitors cashless transactions through the Nigeria Instant Payment System and point-of-sales terminals. Total NIP transactions for the period rose 45.52% year-on-year from 26.65% or 26.65 trillion naira as of January 2022 to 38.7 trillion naira as of January 2023, respectively. And now the federal government on Thursday commenced the deployment of security agencies to filling stations across the country to enforce the use of point-of-sale machines on the acceptance of bank transfers at the various outlets. It vowed to deal with oil marketers who reject POS machines or bank transfers from customers, stressing that the move became vital following report that some filling stations were culpable as regards this development despite the severe cash crunch nationwide. The government's directive to marketers came through the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. In a statement issued in Abuja by the agency's General Manager Corporate Communications and Stakeholders Management, Kimchi Apollo, the authority said it will work with law enforcement agencies to enforce the use of POS machines and acceptance of cash transfers as retail outlets, stressing that oil marketers who flout the directive will be dealt with. However, the Secretary, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Abuja Sulejam, Mohammed Shuaibu, said they were also hit by the cash crunch as this had affected their operations in diverse ways, denying them the ability to restock in some instances. Meanwhile, the Trade Union Congress on Thursday threatened to take constitutional and legal ways against the federal government over the lingering scarcity of new Naira notes and fuel. Speaking during a press conference in Abuja, the national president of the trade union body, Festus Osifo, noted that many Nigerians were on the brink of financial collapse due to the policy initiative of the Central Bank of Nigeria. He said the problem is that Nigerians have been betrayed by the banking system, which has been unable to pay them their money on demand. Osifo said Nigerians have also been failed by the federal government, which unilaterally decided to change the three highest denominations of the currency, fixed date for the change, and is utterly incapable either to deliver on its promises or protect the populace from financial strangulation. Speaking on the issue of fuel scarcity and planned hike in pump price, Osifo called for the construction of local refiners, saying local refining will add value to the nation's crude oil, provide local jobs, and not only save foreign exchange, but enable Nigeria and far more income. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria has called for calm, understanding and resilience from Nigerians in reaction to what it described as the unintended consequences of Naira redesign policy. ICAN President Malam Tijani Issa, in a statement on Thursday in Lagos, said the institute shared the pains of Nigerians whose lives and livelihoods were disrupted due to the opacity of the new note. Issa said the glaring effects of the policy on businesses and other financial transactions had further been compounded by the challenges of fuel supply across the nation. He, however, explained that new policies sometimes had unintended consequences and said that the present circumstances should not be perceived as a premeditated attempt to inflict undue pain on the masses. He said as the Central Bank of Nigeria and other key stakeholders continue to make commendable efforts to address the present challenges, ICAN urges the APS Bank to continuously reassess its strategies and expedite actions towards making the new currency note readily available to the public. Away from there now, Governor Abdullahi Ganduje of Kano State Thursday met with bank managers, representatives of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and security agencies and other stakeholders for an interactive session in an effort to find lasting solution to the suffering faced by citizens as a result of shortage of new Naira notes and unending queues in banks. This was contained in a statement by the Chief Press Secretary to Governor Abba Anwar and issued to newsmen on Friday. The meeting, according to Anwar, took place at Africa House, Government House in Kano, where the governor said the poor implementation of the Naira redesign policy is a sign of sabotage. Anwar quoted Ganduje as saying the policy is a good one, but the implementation is poorly executed, and ill-timed, insisting that the poor implementation is either a display of incapacity and or as a sign of sabotage. Explaining further, Ganduje said the implementation was not aimed at economic development but at destroying democracy and causing confusion all over. Ganduje also promised that as people continue to face hard times, the state government is planning to flood the street with buses that will be moving people free of charge to major destinations in the state. And now the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation has assured Nigerians that depositors' funds are safe, saying that the current Central Bank of Nigeria currency swap has nothing to do with people's monies in banks. The managing director of NDIC, Malam Bello Hassan, gave the assurance during the NDIC special day at the 44th Kaduna International Trade Fair, which was held in the state capital Thursday. According to Hassan, depositors need not panic over the new CBN monetary policy as regards to the safety of their funds in any commercial bank in the country. Represented by the Manager, Communications and Public Unit of Corporation, Tanko Yahaya, the NDIC boss also disclosed that the corporation has won the court case against the shareholders of the defunct Fortune Bank International. He added that depositors of the bank could file their claims for the purpose of reimbursement of their trapped deposit in the bank. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria has called on the incoming government to address pressing needs in the manufacturing sector, as the sector has proven to be a major driver of the country's economy. The association made this disclosure in a media parley with journalists at its headquarters in Lagos.
Currently, we cannot really budget effectively. Your budget is not, will be constantly, you do a flex budget. So every month you have to review your budget. Your prices cannot determine because in the next 2 weeks anything could go there to the left or right in case of with respect to forex. So this will be very important that we expect any incoming government to do. And of course, you can't be doing this without tackling the fuel scarcity. I've heard many of them who have said that this is going to be one of the things they want to look at immediately. So certain things need to be done for you to be able to predict your production cost. and at the same time to set the price properly. And those things that is very, if they are swinging too much to the left or right, are undeterminable. It makes nonsense of any prediction you want to do. And it hinders possibility of any investor to bring in foreign money to come and invest locally. And actually it threatens the existing manufacturers or business people ordinarily to engage and do the business effectively.